I'm gonna chime in on the discussion because why the fuck not? Like, people are talking constantly about how, like, alt guys don't actually like alt girls, and then the more regular, everyday guys go after alt girls, and like, but they marry the regular girls, plain Janes, the conventionally attractive girls, blah blah blah. And I'm just like, well, yes, men, I'm pretty sure this has been well documented in dating psychology, have categories. There is the fun, like, one that they would actually, like, date. I'm obviously oversimplifying this, but, like, there's the person that they see for fun, but definitely not someone that they're going to actually, like, marry. And then there's someone that they would, like, date, befriend, etc. And then the person that they actually want to marry. And also, you have to look at several factors here. Like, celebrity historical crushes, character crushes, whatever, his dating history, like, any type of girl that he has had a attraction towards long term. Why I emphasize what is his, like, long term celebrity crush or character crush from a movie, or if he's into anime crush, blah blah blah. If he's really much of a weeb, ask him what his favorite dere type, because that's a whole nother thing. But yes, guys, I often go after the conventionally attractive girl because that is the socially accepted. I'm going to get validation from other men. I'm getting validation for when I was considered a loser when I was younger, and the popular girl was the more so everyday, conventionally attractive girl. I just trying to see what I can do and be the cool guy, that shows her something new in the world, and I am not intimidated and put to the test and held accountable, etc., etc. Obviously, that's not across the board, but both categories, regular guys and alternative guys, want the same, or on average, want the same social validation from one another, because they're all men in a collective social setting. Now, obviously, there are guys that fetishize, and so we go back to the fetishization, if I said that correctly. You got to learn how to distinguish between someone that's clearly fetishizing you, and it took me a long ass time for multiple reasons, and the guy that is, like, true for it. Obviously, we've seen the rise of blue-collar men liking that, because some aspects of alternative crossover. Like, Dad Rock was considered the alternative of its time. A lot of blue-collar men happen to like Dad Rock. Like, there's little things that intersect just enough. And also, there's little things. I actually got lucky. My current partner is actually alternative, and we actually, like, blend well. But I got lucky. That was not my experience. I've always wanted to date a guy that was alternative. I'm like many others who wanted someone with similarities. But if you, like, we're not even talking about the misogyny aspect of where you're getting drilled and questioned and, like, all this other shit. We're gonna avoid that right now. But, like, I got lucky, but I've seen it with other people, and I've seen it in the way men have approached me in the past, and I'm just like, sweetheart, it's not happening. I can tell. I can tell that you only want me for, like, 5 minutes. I'm not engaging you. I want a husband. I want to be taking. I want a man to remember to buy my black lipstick on the way of getting groceries if I happen to run out. That's what I want. I'm not going to give you this goth dommy, like, no. No, I want you to remember to pick up my black lipstick when you go and get groceries. And then also, we can borrow each other's makeup before we go out to a concert that is 6 months in advance. I want something long term, like many of us end up wanting. And it's sad, because I obviously the music, the art, everything is important to me. In my alternative everyday, I wouldn't say so. I mean, obviously I have blue hair right now, and I have blue braids under my hair. But as far as what I do for my makeup and how I dress, sometimes I dress a little bit more chill, more skater. Like, I dress all across the board. I don't stick to one aesthetic. But I also listen to music of various genres. But I'm not the people I went to school with. Like, grew up in East Texas, born and raised in East Texas, got married and settled down in the same 30 miles. Like, I stood out like a sore thumb. I moved to Dallas, found communities in Dallas, and honestly, like all over DFW and Texas. Network within those scenes. I've seen a lot of people involved with each other in those settings. So that was my thing. Sticking to my realms, in my communities, and, try to connect with people in those circles that have explicitly shown interest in the same things, in the same people, hell, even demonstrated attraction within the same realms. Because I go to a lot of, events and nightclubs. I'm very active in my local alternative scene. I know some places is much more difficult. But in those scenes that I'm in, the men that many of y'all are after are dating other alternative women. In the scenes that I'm in, again, across the board, it's different for everybody, but you gotta, look hard. Hold on one second. You gotta look hard. And just, see how it goes. But yeah, in short, men often go after what is socially accepted, will validate their childhood, will make their ego go through the roof. Sometimes that's a regular conventional girl that he can bring home to mom. Sometimes it is that alt girl that can keep up with him. The ego is the biggest problem here. Unfortunately, some of y'all are starting to sound like femcells, and not in the fun way. It's the ego.